Okay, so this is, for those that don't know, in April 2017, I was working in the corporate world. I lost my job, and I had to panic. I had to replace my income very, very quickly. I was earning a C-level income doing what I did. And after 24 hours of crying about it, Bethany is one of the people that heard me cry about it a little bit. I had to pick up quickly and just dive in. And I spent some time stepping back and thinking, I've been doing small business world for 25 years. I've been at this a long time. I know how to do this. And somebody had to remind me, and I think it may even have been Bethany who reminded me I knew what I was doing and I could do this. And I sat down, and I am huge on planning. The first thing I step back and wrote myself a plan. And this is this blueprint, like literally this blueprint I'm sharing with you today. You've got the workbook here in the chat. Grab it. I will also email it to everybody at the end so that you all can have access to it if it doesn't work for you through the chat for whatever reason. But it really is going back to the basics with your business and really getting this. So even if you have started your business but you're struggling, this will work very well to help get you back on track. What is your business? So what is your business is a super simple question. But what is your business? And I'm going to guarantee you, it's not that you're a VA. It's not that you sell skincare products. It's not that you are providing a website for somebody or designing a website. It is, what is your business? What are you truly giving somebody? What pain point are you solving with your business? I am a social media and marketing strategist. I solve the pain of and the chaos of trying to be consistent and getting leads and growing the profit of your business. That's what I solve for a business. I know that's what I solve for a business. But once you know what you're solving for somebody, whoever that is, who's your ideal client that you're solving it for? You really need to dive into this question. I only give you a little area, and I thought about it later on. I'm like, oh, I should have given you pages. Your ideal client, you really need to dive into this. And a couple of ways that I talk to everybody about. First thing to do is go to 16personalities.com and take your personality test. Get to know who you are, how you operate with other personalities. Because I will tell you right now, we all have people we don't want to work with. We all have that. Guarantee it. We have certain kinds of personalities, certain things about other personalities that drive us crazy. But sometimes we forget about that, especially when we get involved in the business process of starting our business. We just want to take on everything that makes us money. And that is a huge failure. Whenever you do that, you are going to have problems. You're going to get a bad client. You're going to be frustrated. You need to make sure that you are really paying attention to who you are and who you are in your business. And then taking a look at what all the other personality types are out there and who are going to be the best personality types to work with. Once you've done that, and it really only takes about 10 minutes to take that personality test, then take a look at who those types of people are. They always give you at the bottom at 16personalities.com, which is why I love that one so much. TV characters, movie characters, famous people that have those personality types. Go look up. Read about them. Watch a movie that they're in. Watch one of their TV characters. You can find an episode or parts of episodes on YouTube if you want. And it really helps you to get an idea of who you want to work with. My ideal customer has tried to start a business or hasn't even gotten to the point of starting a business yet. They're struggling to figure out how to really operate in the business world. They're probably doing too many things. They've downloaded every freebie they have ever seen on anything ever and still have no idea what they're doing. They've spent over 20,000 hours attempting to start their business without actually succeeding in getting paying clients and being successful with their business. They love to have awesome deals. They go to Target to shop the clearance rack. They go to the mall to shop the clearance rack. But they want quality. They know they want quality, but they're trying to do it as cheaply as possible. They love spending time with their family, and they want the freedom to spend time with their family. They are looking to be successful online, and everybody's level of success is very different. If anybody saw my personal post on Facebook, I'm sick of the six-figure like hustle. That's not me. That's not what I consider success. But you just want to get to that point, and you have people that rely on you. That's my ideal customer. And I actually have it nailed down to their favorite colors and where they shop and all of that. You can really do that after you really dive into their personality types and really take a step back and think about that. So while I give you just a small area to write that in this worksheet, the course for this, the Business 101 course, has a lot more room for all of that. And really spend a lot of time thinking about that, because that right there is going to form everything else that you're going to be doing for your business. It's super important to get hyper specific about who you want to work for and that personality type that you want to work for, because you will head off so many issues when you do that piece by not working with a bad client. And that's service-based. But even for Bethany, who sells products, and even Francine, you do that a little bit, knowing who your ideal customer is that you're targeting, so you know the type of language you should use, what colors you should use, because your ideal client dictates your brand voice, your brand visuals, and you need to honor that, because I know that my ideal client is probably not a guy. Look at behind me. This is pink and purple. I know I'm going after a female client. I know I'm going after a female client that connects with my love of fairies and crowns and queens and unicorns and sparkle and purple. That's my ideal client. Like, I have their colors nailed down. If you decide, if your favorite color is green and your logo ends up being green and your writing on your website ends up being green and you've got lots of green, except for your ideal client likes pink, you're going to turn them off. And a color, there is lots of psychology behind your color theory. So nailing down who your ideal customer is affects every step from here on out with starting your business and being successful in that start. If you nail down that ideal customer, your every other step will go a whole lot more smoothly, and you can do things quickly. Investing in that brand strategy is one of the most important steps that I tell every client. It is so important to really know who your ideal customer is, because once you know who your Yes. And Sandra knows that her ideal client is a creative ADHD woman who owns more than one business. Sandra is my accountability coach. Color strategy is huge. And when you are trying to get people's attention with your visuals in your social media, your brand wording, your brand voice, all of those things will catch your ideal client's attention a whole lot faster. So the next step is, what is your mission statement? Your mission statement for your business should speak to that ideal customer. So knowing who that ideal customer is, don't just write your mission statement hoping it'll catch somebody's attention. And for God's sake, stop making your mission statement super vague. Now, it can be semi-vague. Our mission statement is to give female entrepreneurs everything they need to rise strong, become limitless, and be boss girl. That is our mission statement. It's a little vague, but it tells you that we're giving female entrepreneurs what they need to rise, become, and be a boss. So there is some context there. Don't let your mission statement or your elevator pitch be, I offer female entrepreneurs everything they need to feel amazing in their business. What does that mean? Because your idea of feeling amazing in your business and my idea of feel amazing in your business is very different. There are a lot of people who've chosen very vague, very flowery language for their mission statements, and that's not the place to do it. You do want to get to the point. Again, you can be slightly vague, and that's fine. Now, Bethany has a skincare brand, and she doesn't necessarily need a mission statement, but she does need taglines. So your mission statement or your taglines are things that you definitely need to create around your ideal client. So the next part is the branding that I was just talking about. And anybody who watches me on my morning show will know that I talk about the 5 W's and an H constantly and consistently. I actually haven't in a couple of weeks, but it's a pretty common conversation you will hear me say. Your who, what, where, when, why, how. Those things are so important for building out your branding for your business. Again, knowing your who they are in their own business, who you are in your business. All of those versions of the who need to be answered, and the what, and the where, and the when, and the why, and the how. So there's really 3 answers to these: who you are, who your business is serving, and who your ideal client is. That helps you nail that ideal client down just a little bit more. And then you can your ideal client is, believe it or not, I'm going to skip down past the who, what, where, when, why, and how a bit. In who is your ideal customer? So we had that already. Who's your ideal customer? We're asking this again now that you've gone through that whole entire process. Have you narrowed that down a little bit more? I guarantee you have, by answering that who, what, where, when, why, and how in those 3 pieces for your business. And then you get to move ahead and start naming your business. Don't name your business before you've done the ideal customer, because we all know naming your business Faith Ann or Francine or Bethany Hilt or Danielle Ralston or Sandra Ray is easy, because it's just your name and you are who you are. But how does anybody, when it comes to SEO, how does anybody know who you are? Your name means nothing when it comes to the business world. Until you are in a super established brand, your main name means nothing. I know that's horrible to hear, but it's very, very true. Your name isn't helpful. Naming your business something weird and wacky could catch people's attention. So that has some value to it. Our business name is Be Boss Girl. The SEO behind that is huge, because people search for boss girl, girl boss, all of those things, and we catch all of those. But having a name like Sandra Ray VA, and Sandra is Ray VA, she has in her name what she does in her business name. That's very good for your SEO. So really, before you just name your business and you just pick your name or pick something random, really think about the SEO possibilities behind naming your business, because it can help drive traffic to you from Google. The days of social media being the only way that you're advertising and getting out there are gone, just about gone, or almost completely gone. Your social media is like a third of what you need to do to get attention on your business. That's awesome, Francine. The branding tactics are so important, and they're really what helps grow the business. So knowing that you have to dive into that is huge. So what are you offering your customers is the next question. What do you truly offer your customers? And we kind of answered this before, but Sandra is offering me the ability to control my chaos. I can't control my own chaos myself. I need Sandra to help me control my chaos. I need an OBM to make sure that all of my processes, procedures, bookkeeping, administrative side are done, because I'm ADHD. That's like the worst thing in the world for me to possibly even think about doing, is that stuff. But who is my ideal customer? What am I offering that customer? So an OBM knows that they offer me that stability in that organization that I don't have. Sandra offers me that accountability to actually complete the tasks I put on my to-do list. You're offering people peace of mind. You're offering people the emotional piece is what you're offering. And that's actually what you're offering your ideal customer. I don't care if you're selling a skincare product. So I'm picking on Bethany a bit because she is a customer. I've worked with her a long time and I know her well, and she can deal with me picking on her. Bethany has a skincare brand, and I will tell you what she's selling is confidence, and she is selling beauty and feeling beautiful. That's what Bethany sells. Now, I'm going to totally pitch Bethany. I have something called PCOS, and I have terrible skin, and really, really terrible skin. But you can't tell that because I use Bethany's products. That's what she offers. And she offers the emotional piece to me, what that means to me because of what her products do. That's what you want to catch. And that's what's going to catch people's attention, is the emotional component of what you offer your customers. Being a jack of all trades is actually going to hurt you, Francine. So I am a jack of all trades. I am an IT pro. I am a marketing person. I'm a business strategy person. I'm a bookkeeper. I do a million things, which gets me into trouble all the time because I do a million things and I have a hard time getting organized. But when you offer and when you're a jack of all trades, your customer gets very confused. You will do very well, at least to start out, if you're really trying to grow and really trying to move somewhere, being hyper focused on what you do and hyper focusing on one area for marketing purposes. The more you offer in your marketing, the less your message is going to be seen. When I started this business that I replaced my income in 3 weeks, I focused heavily on social media management. That's all I offered. And that's all I offered for about 3 months. And I grew my business very quickly and was able to do that and started an agency. Yes, I do get myself into trouble a lot. So knowing what you are truly offering your customer and making that message very clear and very easy to understand is very, very important. When you don't do that at your start, you're not going to grow very quickly. You're going to have a hard time gaining customers. And that's on top of social media algorithms being funky and SEO not being easy and all of that. So you're adding that on top of the other 20 things that are already hard to overcome when you don't narrow down and just hyper focus on one thing that you offer your clients to start. Now, once you're established, you can branch out and offer all that you can. And that's not to say that while you're on a call with a client, offering them to dive in and design a course, that you can't offer them all of the other things. So you can offer, once you have a client and once they're there, you can offer them more. But in your marketing message and in your message on your website and the content you create and the visuals you create, everything should be very, very hyper-focused and very easy for a client, potential client, to understand. So the next piece is your branding elements. Do they speak to that ideal client? Do they evoke that emotion that you are trying to give that client? All of your branding elements are your visuals, your logo, your website, your email marketing. All of those things need to match that ideal client, the emotion you're trying to get, your who, what, where, when, why, and how. Your branding elements need to match all of that, not get all of that and then make everything else match it. When you do that backwards, you are going to mix up the message, and the message ends up being a big mixing bowl of all kinds of things instead of being very, very cohesive and easy to follow. And that is, I think, something that a lot of businesses fall into, and it is very hard to understand. And even I, from time to time, because I do so many things, lose that message sometimes. And I use these. Yeah, thank you, Sandra. I use this blueprint and I go back to it often to remind myself and refocus myself. Again, ADHD here, so I have to refocus myself often. And something like this really, really works. Yes, this worksheet is the actual worksheet I use. I only had to replace the cover on it for this course. So this is something I use often. And Sandra, I know, she knows that I go back to this stuff and reevaluate and re-see how I'm doing things. And Francine, I can share those links with you here when we're at the end, once I'm done showing you everything else. So the next part of all of this is your legal stuff. I haven't even talked about building your website yet. Not even there yet. You will notice that website can come 3 months from now. It doesn't need to be immediate, but it does need to be there. You need to hire an attorney or go to LegalZoom or go to Legal Shield. Get an understanding, even if all you're doing is hiring somebody to talk to them for an hour. Get an understanding of everything you need for your state, county. It can be as much as county stuff. Some states, you don't need to worry about your county so much. You just need to worry about state things and federal things. Other places you have to worry about your county. Make sure that you have an understanding of how your business should be legally running in your area. I have seen way too many small businesses get sued or have issues because they just didn't fill out the legal paperwork they needed. I know somebody here in my area that started a business 10 years ago, never got themselves a DBA, and then just got in trouble from New York State. It cost them $9,000 to go back and do all of that paperwork. If they would have done it right in the first part, it was $21. So really make sure that you know what you need to do, whether you can afford to do it all or not to start with. You know what you need to do so that you can legally operate in your area, whatever that is. And I'm not giving advice to that, what that is for everybody. Just make sure that you know what it is for your area. Get a business checking account. Stop trying to use your personal. Don't just operate on PayPal. PayPal will bite you in the long run if you're only operating on PayPal, especially if you're offering services in even products. People are notorious for scamming and doing chargebacks on PayPal, and PayPal will always side with the buyer. They do not very often at all side with the seller. And that can cost you big time. So be very careful with that. There are so many more options out there, and I could give you a million of them, but make sure that you're getting your bank account set up so that all of the money that you're getting flows to the right direction. You can always transfer into your own account, your personal account after that. But if you have a business bank account, it makes your accounting at the end of the year and doing your taxes so much easier. Just take my word for it. I have cleaned up so many people's books that it's ridiculous. Make sure that you're making it easy on yourself in the end, because it's easy to take care of expenses and track money coming in, money going out, all of that if you have your own bank account. In most banks don't even charge for a small business account anymore either. So it's not like it's really an expense for your business. Keep a good bookkeeping system. Bookkeeping does not have to be complicated. Use an Excel spreadsheet if you want. Wave accounting is great for invoicing. It's free. It's very, very easy to use, and it's free. And you can take credit cards through it. You can do ACH transfers through it. It's awesome. And again, it's free and it's really robust. And I've been super impressed with it. And I believe I can't remember whether it was H&R Block or TurboTax. Somebody bought them out. So it's gotten even better. And again, it's still free. So.
Will Wave let you do auto, like recurring charges?
Yes.
Okay.
But you do have to have an account open with them for like a month or something before they'll let you do that. So you do have to run some things through it before they'll let you do recurring, but it's not that big of a deal. There's also things like Dubsado. Dubsado is a really, really great for not only your invoicing, but your onboarding process, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. Emails, workflows, Dubsado does a whole lot. And it's only $25 a month. So it's very affordable. Well, it's free up to 3 customers and then $25 a month after that. So Dubsado, I love Dubsado. I'm a huge fan of Dubsado. But I don't use Dubsado for my invoicing because I love Wave so much. And I like the reporting, the invoice reporting and stuff from Wave a bit better. And
now, the monthly PR thing that I was talking about doing, would that be better to do using like Stripe or Square, or should I just use Wave?
Actually, Stripe
online that Nakandra uses for me, but should I just use Wave just for like the recurring stuff?
Well, you could use QuickBooks Online. You've already got it.
I don't think QuickBooks lets you do like the recurring thing.
Yes, they do. We do that now.
Okay. I don't know how to set it up with the...
That's what Nakandra's for.
Okay.
I didn't set mine up. That's what I have Nakandra.
Okay.
So those of you that might be wondering who Nakandra is an EA, CPA on steroids. And she will be joining us on our morning show on Friday if you want to check her out. And she is a great person to talk to when you're setting up all your bookkeeping and getting your tax stuff set up to begin with. You can hire her just for a consult, and she is phenomenal and will help walk you through. And she works with women-owned businesses just like all of ours to help them get all of their accounting stuff so that it's right. And you could just hire her for a consult, or she'll do it for you, which is what she does for me. She does all of my stuff for me. And I actually just increased. Yes, she does have DIY courses. I forgot about that, Sandra. And I just increased my package with her today, and she's going to step up and do even more for me because I just don't have time. So the next part is professional email. Stop using your @Gmail, or God forbid your AOL.com email. And yes, I have somebody who I was looking to hire who had an @AOL.com email. I told her that made me very nervous and I refused to hire her. And yes, that was the reason why I wouldn't hire her, because she wasn't taking and investing in her business. Professional email does give you that level of professionalism. Gmail, doing for business, is super easy, very cheap. I think it's $6 a month. And you look professional when you do that. Also, your website hosting, a lot of website hosts, you can also get free email through there. Just get professional email. There are a million people out there that can help you set it up if you don't know how to, but get professional email. It's very important. It's very, very important to treat your business as a real business and to be seen as a real business. Building your website is one of the next things for looking professional, but I will tell you, until you've done all of the other work, your website really can wait. At least for a couple months. I wouldn't put it off for too long, but a website, you can operate and start getting clients without a website. A website will certainly help, and you have a little bit to overcome with not having a website, but you can absolutely start to grow a business without a website. It is absolutely possible. There are a million other options. Create a landing page with MailChimp. It's free. Create a sales funnel with ClickFunnels or with Lead Pages or Podia. There's a million places out there that you could do something that's a whole lot cheaper and easier than doing a website. Now, a website should have some really basic elements. A website should have a homepage. You should answer your who, what, where, when, why, and how in less than 3 steps in your homepage. An about page, people want to know who you are and what your qualifications are and how to contact you. That's all you absolutely have to start. Now, as you grow and as social media is starting to fail, having a blog is hugely helpful. Having courses that you're selling, having something else that's content-based that will help the SEO for your website and drive traffic to you is what you're going to need to do. It will also support your social media. So make sure that you're taking a look and looking at doing that, but it's not something you need to do immediately. People think they need to have a website before they can be a business. That's not true. Don't make yourself nuts. Something else I'm going to tell you is you don't DIY your website too much. If you're struggling with your website and you can't figure it out and do it on your own in less than a couple days, hire somebody else. And if you can't afford to hire somebody else, save up until you can, because a badly done website will hurt your business. And I see this so many times. And once you have a badly done website with your SEO and all of that, and you start hurting your SEO, it's harder to overcome that. So either don't do anything at all or hire somebody if you can't do it well yourself. Now you need to decide on a onboarding process for your clients. Dubsado is huge. Dubsado is wonderful. I know Faith knows what that is and Sandra knows what that is. Francine, if you have questions, I'm happy to dive into that off of here. I'm not going to dive into it so much, but have an onboarding process for your clients. It is huge to have a process and procedure for every single thing you do. Makes it easy. When I onboard a client, I need their email address and all of that, their email address and their name. After that, I put them into my Dubsado. I set up a contract for them for whatever they're getting, and everything else is a workflow. They get me their name, their address, any contact information I need, any access information I need. They get a welcome packet, and they get forms to fill out, and I don't even have to touch any of that anymore. Now that it's all built in Dubsado, it does it all for me. I'm a huge fan of that because automating as much as possible is massive for your business. But I didn't start out like that. I did start out doing each and every step manually, but have a process. I still had a process for it. My first client, I knew exactly what I had to do in order to get them moving. And I was able to onboard them, and it should take you less than 24 hours to onboard a client completely. That doesn't mean starting services, but to onboard a client completely should take you less than 24 hours. Should not be a tough or difficult thing to go through. Okay, you've got all of this stuff. Now you're marketing. Again, who's your ideal client, or who, what, where, when, why, and how? You've gone through that already. So now that you know all of that, where did your ideal client hang out? Some people it's just Instagram. Some people it's just Facebook. Some people it's Twitter. Some people it's LinkedIn. Find out where your ideal client is. And when you're first starting out, choose a max of 2 platforms to work on. Don't try to do it all. Don't try to be everywhere. You will lose your mind trying to do that, especially when you're first starting out. Pick 2 platforms, a max. Facebook might be the best and easiest still for people. It is starting to fail, yes, but it's there. And it's still working. Just dive in and focus. Get really focused on the content you're doing, how you're providing value. Everything is about value. Providing the utmost value in the easiest amount of time for yourself and for your client. Keep things short and sweet. Do not write a novel in a Facebook post. You could do that once in a while, but don't do that all the time. Nobody wants to see that all the time. Create your marketing plan. Now, your marketing plan, knowing where your ideal client hangs out, and then your marketing plan. So your marketing plan is not where your ideal client is hanging out. Your marketing plan is your social media, your email marketing, your blogging, your visuals, any workbooks, your freebie or opt-in, your videos that you're creating, how you're trying to reach out to get on podcasts or write a guest blog post. All of those things are your marketing. And they need to be organized, cohesive, and consistent. Whatever it is you're going to do needs to be all of those things. I have a blog post planner that I use that is an outline for a blog post. I have a Trello board that I use for writing all my blog post ideas in. And when I see a blog post, I'm like, oh, I should write a post about that. Or somebody posting on social media, I should write a post about that. I put it in my Trello board. And then once a month, I will go through and I will fill out one of my outlines for the blog post. Now, I don't write my own blog post anymore. I have hired somebody else to do that. But those outlines are everything to me because I do those outlines. I literally take a picture of it to my phone and hand it to my blog post writer, and she writes all the blog posts. It makes it really easy. But if you can't hire somebody else to write for you, you have a planning time, you have a prioritizing and project management time that's filling out the outline, and then you have a doing time. Your doing time should be just doing things and not wasting time trying to think about it. Who should I write for? What are my keywords? What am I writing about? All of that should be done in your planning time so that when it's time to sit down and write a blog post, sit down and write all your content, social media content, all of that should be quick and easy. It shouldn't take you more than 45 minutes, an hour to write a blog post at most. Now, I can write a blog post in a half hour when I have the outline done because I sit down, I read it, I look at it, I think about it for 2 seconds, and I dive in. That's about all of your content. When you write a blog post, the nice thing about a blog post, and I really, really suggest that you write blog posts. It's really helpful for your business. Write a blog post. You've got 3 to 5 pieces of social media content right there. You have 20 to 60 pieces of Pinterest content right there. Makes life so easy. You also have a template maybe for a video and have an outline for a video by having a blog post. All of those things help make creating all of your rest of your content so easy by preparing to write a blog post. Makes it super, super simple. And usually the outline you would use for writing a blog post and a blog post outline are those points are your social media posts. So that is a really huge thing. And the blog post template, it's not in the shop yet. I was having some technical issues last night and this morning. I've had internet issues for weeks. I'm actually going to put the blog post template in. I have a project planner that I'm going to be putting in our shop, and they're going to be $5 each. So those are going to be available to you to grab today, and you can use your coupon form and stuff. Really, it comes down to that planning time and doing all of this pre-planning that we're doing even with this blueprint and layout. Once you do all of those things, I guarantee you go to your favorite Facebook group, spend 10 minutes in there, and you're going to get 10 ideas for blog posts by seeing what other people are posting. Just have your eyes open. And again, that's what I use my Trello board for, is every time I see a post that I'm like, oh, I should write a blog post about that. It goes in my Trello board so that I remember to eventually get back there. And the person that I pay to do my blog post, I pay them to do 30 posts at a time because it's a whole heck of a lot cheaper for me to do bulk writing with them. And they're pretty awesome. And it helps to stay organized, stay ahead, not get behind. And when you're in the process of building a business, you need to get ahead of those things, because you're going to spend so much time trying to generate traffic, trying to get leads and talking to those leads, because it takes a whole lot more time when you're first starting out to really take somebody from a potential lead through a signed customer. So you want to try to plan all of this stuff ahead of time in order to make all of that process a whole lot easier. And create a lead magnet, create something to get a freebie for people. If you're a VA, that could be a task page. That could be a blog post planner. That could be a calendar. That could be a reminder system. That could be a Trello board. Design a Trello board template for somebody. That could be a million things. Just find something that's in your niche to give away as a freebie to try to do. And then put that all over your email marketing, put that all over your social media marketing, put that on your Pinterest, put that on your business page, on your Facebook business page. All of those things drive traffic to that freebie, because once you have people on your email list, they're warm leads. You have a higher potential of warming them up and them becoming a full-time client than you do somebody just reaching out blindly and cold calling, per se, on a Facebook group. Always be specific in everything that you post and everything that you do from your marketing. Who you support and what you do and why somebody needs you. You need to tell people why they need you.
And so how do you do that if you are like with the skincare products? Like, what's the best way? Do you do that all the time in social media posts, or what should that actually look like?
So I call them pillar posts. 3 days a week, you should have pillar posts. And Bethany, we've structured you a slight bit different, because you do offer skincare. Your what you offer is a little more apparent, I guess is a good way of putting it, than somebody who offers a service. You actually have this piece a whole lot easier, because you offer skincare. You offer a cleanser. You offer a moisturizer. You offer things that are just in their names alone tell you what you're offering them. So you actually have a little bit easier, but by telling people, I solve skincare problems. I make your skin glow, your glow up, your clean skin in 72 hours, getting rid of dark circles in 72 hours or less. All of those things that's already all through your messaging, Bethany,
okay,
are there. And that's important. But when you have a service business, Sandra has to talk about, I help you plan and control your chaos so you get things done every day. Because saying you're accountability coach, what does that mean? Sandra has to explain that a little more. Faith Ann, with what you do with teaching people how to get their courses out there and getting all of that content together, you have to explain what that means, because people just don't know. Even with a social media manager, I do social media management, but I have to explain what that means. That means I write your content, I post your content, and I interact with your content and your ideal customers for you, because people don't truly understand what titles mean. And if you're choosing a title for yourself or your business that is quirky or funny, you haven't even a higher level of having to explain those things, because that's harder for people to understand. And people always, and this sounds horrible, always treat your potential clients like they are 5-year-olds who have no idea what anything is in the business world. So you want to explain things on that kindergarten, very low level to everybody, because you don't know what people understand, what you don't. And you might be surprised how little people truly do understand what your business is, and what you do. So make sure that you're very, very clear about that in your social media, in your blog posts, everything that you do. You need to be super, super clear about who you are, what you do, and what you are offering them, and what you're going to solve for them. And then once you have all of this marketing stuff in place, you should have a backlog of everything written. You should have at least a month ahead of time written of your social media, some blog posts, all of that stuff done. Then choose a launch date. So you'll notice that more than 3/4 of this course is all pre-launching your business, because there's a lot of back end that needs to be done before you really launch. And when you do that, and when you concentrate and do that well, your launch of your business will be successful. Guarantee it. And it doesn't have to take you forever. So notice I did this in 4 weeks. You can easily do this in 4 weeks. Probably 2 of those are focusing on who your ideal client is and who, what, where, when, why, and how. And creating the content that goes around to that. That's probably most of that 2-week launch, getting ready, and then 2 weeks to start getting the clients. It only took me 6 clients to replace my income. So even knowing that I could do that, and it only took me 6 clients to do it, this is not a tough process when you do it right. So make sure that while you're doing this, and the last thing is systems for your business. I'm just going to go over this really quick. Dubsado, Wave, client onboarding, your marketing, your customer journey, and your customer service. How are you going to offer everything to your customer? Dubsado is great. Again, it gives you that workflow. You can communicate with the customer through it. Professional email is part of that. We've already gone through some of this stuff. Your marketing, if you are by yourself and you're a solopreneur, I'm going to guarantee you doing all of your social media all by yourself is horrible and going to be very, very difficult to use. Schedule everything in Facebook. Use the tools that are out there for you, because you can't necessarily afford those expensive tools to start. There are so many free things that you can do and that are offered out there right now. Trello is absolutely free. You could do a ton of organizing in Trello and really be ahead of the game there. You could do a ton pre-scheduling in Facebook. You could use Trello to send you reminders to post on Instagram. Just find ways to make what you can afford work for you. Actually work for you. Spend some time learning those tools. All of these things take a little bit more time than the 4 weeks, but really make sure that you're taking the time and putting the effort into learning the tools that you're going to use so that they are the most beneficial to you. Because if you onboard 6 clients, but you're not organized, you're going to lose those 6 clients. So you need to make sure that not only are you getting the clients in the door so you can pay your bills, but you can actually support them and continue to have a good customer journey with them. That is very, very, very important. So anybody have questions?
I have a question about what you said when you're using me as an example, like what you do, the business you're really in. Mm-hmm. And confidence and providing that emotional peace of mind when it comes to your skin. Mm-hmm. So how do you convey that? Because I know I'm still writing like e-newsletter content right now. So like how do you make that come across?
Use your customer reviews. You should be putting those in your e-news.
Okay.
I handed you a before and after a couple of weeks ago that there's a huge drastic change in skin.
Yeah, and that did really well. Like that was like the best performing story outside of me getting engaged.
People want to connect with you emotionally, and connecting with your clients, have them write reviews. And it's always great when you're first starting to maybe do a quick job or a quick project or something for somebody for free, just in exchange for a review. That's a really good thing to do. I still do that. I don't need reviews. And about once every 3-4 months, I will do a freebie for somebody just to get a new review. There's nothing wrong with that. And it's a great way to be and to start. It also generates you a bit of goodwill, because almost every single time I do that, that person that I did the free thing for always refers other potential clients to me. So it's great to build an ongoing connection in relationship with other people. It's a great way to do it. Okay, so for attending the masterclass today with me, I have my business 101, and this, what I've given you in this workbook that we've been going through right here, is just an excerpt from the main course. All of our courses are $19.97, and you can check out all of them here. So how would I make my services stand out where there are so many VAs and many companies are still apprehensive about handing over confidential docs, et cetera, to a stranger? Plus, some VAs overseas only charge $3 to $5 an hour. So, Francine, it's all about what you offer and the experience you offer. So you have 20 years of experience, whatever it is, of experience doing what you do. Talk about that. Talk about your experience and why you are good at what you do, what you've done in the past, customers you've worked with in the past, types of projects you've worked on in the past. You have a level of experience that a lot of people don't have. I know that the fact that I've been in this business world for 25 years, I share that a lot because that right there instills a bit of confidence just in that. And also really diving into the who you are serving and why you're supporting them and what you can solve for them. Knowing those things, a lot of VAs, well, I just offer VA service. Well, what does that mean? Anything administrative. Well, what does that mean? If you've been doing this a long time and you answer those who, what, where, when, why, and how, and that emotional connection to those things, you will gain clients just by doing that.
Another thing too, that this just happened, Danielle knows about, like you don't have a 12-hour time difference to deal with. You don't have a language barrier to deal with. And also some of those people overseas, they're flaky as can be. You are here reliable.
You are. And the other big thing about it is you are also, there is a cultural component that comes there's a cultural component that comes with being a US based person. So even if somebody is very talented and very educated, which a lot of those VAs actually are, they don't understand our culture behind football and Halloween and things like that here. And it makes a big difference when it comes to dealing with communicating with your own clients. At one point, I hired a woman from the Philippines to do something for me because I was really desperate and needed something done. And she had answered a bunch of emails. Of course, they had to go through me first. And I'm glad they did because none of the language made sense to an American. And that's something that you definitely have as a plus on your side is you're from the US or Canada, which is pretty much the same thing. But I have hired people from the UK and their education level, same as ours. There's not a whole lot of difference. They even speak the same language. I put that in quotation marks, but they don't. And there's still a cultural difference there. And it does make a big difference. It makes a very big difference. For attending today, there is a coupon for you guys. If you buy anything in my shop through midnight tomorrow night, you get 20% off of anything you buy, and nothing in there is over $19.97. So there's a brand strategy course in there. There's a task management course in there. There is a content creation made easy course in there. I used to sell that for over $400. And it's always been one of my more popular courses. And now there's the Business 101 course as well. So they're all available to you. We also have our morning show where if you have any further questions, you can join us live every morning on RBB. Yes, I will email all of these things to you as well. I will email all of this out, and as well as a recording of this. You will get a link to the recording. Because I can't email it. And if you have any questions at all, please join me on the morning show. I will have links to that, or you can join us on our Become Limitless community, which is a social media proofed forum community. And we are rebranding that and doing some new things over there. And we actually had a disaster with our migration too. So we lost some content. So sorry for Faith and Sandra who had posted before. We lost a bunch of stuff, but such is life when you're doing tech stuff. Thank you, Francine. So everybody have an amazing day. Thank you for joining us. And I hope if you have any more questions, you please let me know. I'm always here to support and answer those questions. Have a great day, everybody.